Hey, what's going on? Hey, so today's a big day. We have a group of our students, the Freedom Boys. Actually, we call them the Freedom Changers. I call them the Freedom Boys. And they're here in Houston. And we're going to sit down and we're going to get them ready. They own a couple of assets already, but I'm trying to help them get to the next level. We're trying to accelerate them to the next level. So what we're going to do today is that we're going to talk about where they're at, where they want to go, what they want to learn, and then I'm going to take them to some of our assets and show them how our assets look, how we operate our assets. Where we're at is where they want to go. That's why they need a mentor. How do I get there? That's what the mentorship's all about. Come on in. What's up, Freedom Boys?
What's up, Robert?
Guys, how are you, man?
Doing great.
How are you?
Really great.
How are you? How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Hi, we haven't met, right? Robert?
Caleb.
Nice to meet you, Caleb. Who are you? Why have I not met you yet? They keep you in the closet, right? You're the guy doing all the magic behind the curtain.
It's our secret weapon.
Yeah, my job was keeping me kind of behind the scenes for a little while, so I had to wait for, I work for the San Francisco 49ers, so I had to wait for the season to end.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what do you do for the Niners?
I run our brand marketing.
Okay.
So all the local marketing, Levi Stadium events, and then I'm in charge of growing the international markets in Mexico. And the
That's
UK.
amazing. Okay, well that's a nice relatable skill. You can highlight your properties.
From the 2014 World Cup.
Man.
You may remember Germany won that World Cup in Brazil.
Yes.
Of course you know that, right? This jersey was worn by a fan from the very beginning of the World Cup all the way to the very end. And one of my friends is Brazilian, and he's actually now the assistant coach of the Brazilian national team. He met this guy, and that guy gave him the jersey. And he gave it to me like, I don't know, 5 years ago or so.
So you wore this for every jersey, I'm sorry, for every game of Brazil, for Germany.
For Germany,
For
exactly.
Germany. And Germany won that World Cup?
Germany won that World Cup.
Wow, so there's a 4-star now? Oh, wow, very nice.
You told us, that your son is still
Oh, yeah,
soccer and
he's in
everything.
it. He's
So
in
it's
it.
like maybe this keeps him into soccer a little longer.
That's amazing. Well, thank you guys. That really means a lot to me that you guys would do that. Thanks so much. He's going to be,
You're welcome.
through my son Ryan, he's going to be thrilled. Thanks.
You got it.
Appreciate it. Good way to kiss my ass and get some attention. Let's go.
You know how it goes.
All right. So, what are you trying to thank you, sweetie? What are you trying to gain out of your time with me today?
Let's look at the next slide. I think what's important is to say, what do we want to accomplish in the next 6 months, right? I think that there's a goal at the end. We have one deal going, but that's not a deal we all own together. It's kind of more like with other partners and stuff, and we need to really start this journey also with a deal together, Okay. So ideally, I know it's not necessarily acquisition time right now, but
It will be,
exactly. So
especially in that range.
exactly. So we want to look at getting ourselves ready, to acquire that 100 plus unit deal. If we can in 6 months, great. It depends on how the market moves, right?
Financing is going to be the biggest piece this year above anything else because, as you guys know, what the Fed did last year was historic. When we go and we buy deals, we look at the curves. These are projections that guys smarter than any of us put together. Chatham is a big website. You should write that down. There's curves on there, and it shows you where rates are going to be in the future. Nobody predicted what the Fed did, so the curves were all wrong. So 80% of the market got exposed to variable rate notes. Why did they do that? They did that because we're competing all with each other, right? They did it because the investors want to continue to get a yield, and they want to continue to buy deals. So to make it make sense, debt funds and these other groups outside of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which were the traditional lenders, came into existence, and they offer this really cheap financing. And it's all like, I think, I don't have Jacob here, but it's all kind of collateralized, right? And so once they put it, they sell it off to somebody and it goes. Well, in that time of 24, 36 months, you're supposed to do your business plan. You're supposed to raise rents, do renovations, update operations, and then at the end of a 24, 36 month cycle, you get out of it. You have a reappraise and go. But what happened is they changed the rates, and that blew up everybody's business plan. So I have a guy right now, he bought a deal for me. He's one of our investors, and I actually KP'd him the deal. And he increased his NOI by 22, 23% last year. He's going to refinance right now. It's cash neutral.
Yeah.
And he had a monster year. I mean, he had a $400,000 NOI, and now it's like 480, 500, and it's gone. we're in the same boat. We just rate locked yesterday on 2 deals where we had monster NOI growth, cash neutral. So the key to this is you have to understand that first of all, we had KeyBank, big players at KeyBank were sitting right over there, and they told us how much further we are ahead of everybody else. Their applications still haven't come in, which means there's still a what I call a living coma. And I went through it last year, and it was very hard. Guys like Grant went through it too, but then they go and whoever his money source is, and that's his Grant himself, wrote a check and stuff down. But because he's smiling, I don't think he wrote the check. Because it would have to have been $100 plus million, $200 million to get down the debt service down to meet the covenants because he was in a technical default. Fortunately, I didn't have those kind of loans that required a pay down the loan. So I'm able to buy time. And other people were in that same time. But as I've told you before, we're all running out of time and money. And those are the 2 big issues with owning multifamily. You only lose if you run out of time or money. That's why Grant and others say, if you hold it 10 years, you're going to make money, right? And it's true. That means things have happened. What's happened now is that the Fed made the sky not blue and water not wet. And it just changed the laws of the universe for us. And so everybody's struggling. Some people are adapting to it. We're able to adapt to it. I've got 10 deals that have interest rate exposure. Some have cap rates, some don't. So if you divide that by 100%, right, 10% each. Rate locking yesterday was a breath of fresh air for me because I was in a coma. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm just seeing this get out of the way. I'm seeing this. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to lose his money. I'm going to lose his money. I'm going to lose my money because it's recourse to me, right? It's interest. It's floating debt. So that was a big piece to me. So 20% of it got knocked out. I've got 2 more deals that I want to have done, at least rate locked by July. So then I need 2 more deals, and then I'm left to pick up the pieces. Like, okay, what is our new cost basis now? Because it's like basically acquiring the deal again. We'll put 10-year debt. Some of it can be senior debt, where it's just a standard mortgage, Fannie, Freddie, at 5 point something. But if you don't have, but they're only lending at 60%. This is really important. 60% loan to value. Now my loan is at 75% loan to value. So I've got to now come up to that. So if my NOI is not high enough to offset that, are you following? Are you getting that? If my NOI is not high enough, has not grown enough to offset that 15% variance, I now have to get a pref lender, which is what we're having to do on one of the deals at 12%. So now you blend, but it's a small piece, right? It's only 15, not the most. So you blend them in, but you're at 7%. And interesting, when I learned that too, the 12% can be split 8 and 4. 8 is due right now. 4% can be accrued. So if you want to cash flow, you can cash flow and send the 4%, send whatever to your investors, and pay the 4% later when you decide to refinance again or close, or or sell whatever, or you pay it now. Right. So those are the decisions we're gonna have to discuss with the partnership and how we do it. But you see what we're doing. This isn't standard. Identify a deal, acquire it, work at it. Yeah. This is all new. Yeah. Like, did you get a chance to meet Jacob, right? He was only on stage for just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Jacob came from Meridian. He's done billions of dollars. And Brandon Brown, my guy, Marcus Milchap, who I'm going to have you guys work with, he's the originator on the loans for us, the original mortgage broker. This is all like, you got to have that guy next to you. Yeah. I'm really happy that with the deals that I have somebody in-house to do that. I don't have to rely on sharing a Brandon Brown or someone like that later. So the point to that is, for you guys, is that you're going to walk into that, and you're going to see deals from guys that cannot bridge the gap. This is a game changer. This is similar to when I got in 08, but just a little bit different. Because it's not like the economy as a whole. And I was buying deals at 15, like the deal you're going to go see today, Watertown. I paid $24,000 a door for that.
Your rents were a lot lower back then.
Rents dictate, even at an 8 cap, rents dictate what they are. I will say this, and was anybody on Grant's Capital call yesterday, or not Capital call, investor call? Yeah, he talked about how mortgage applications are at a 40-year low because they're scared. Because I don't know how I personally don't know how guys are raising money right now. Because if rates are going up, so is the cap rate. So if you buy a deal today, that deal is technically worth less tomorrow. Yeah. You know, it's not a flat, fixed environment like we had.
You're betting on the future, essentially.
Yes. So again, guys like me don't want to sell to you. They don't want to give it back either to the bank. They're trying to find a way to breathe. They're trying to poke a hole in that plastic bag that's around their head, you know, to get some air. So financing needs to be in there somewhere. You got to figure out what you guys can do as a group, and then what kind of debt. I'm going to tell you, this is similar to when 08 happened and children saw their parents lose their house. You guys are coming in, you don't have any variable rate exposure, so you're watching everybody else, you know, go through this. You'll probably never do variable rate.
Yeah.
Just like those people from 08 are never going to buy their rent. We created a renter nation. Like, especially like in Houston, like 60% of the population rents.
And then we want to continue networking and gain more exposure. This is a dynamic that we would love your perspective on here, Robert, because on the one hand, our resume, we don't have that much on it as it comes to acquisitions, right? But we have a story to tell. We believe we can bring value as it relates to just the characteristics and what we've been able to achieve with like the intangible skills and tangible skills that we've got from our corporate world.
A big audience that way, you know, because we have these corporate jobs, backgrounds, I mean, that are stories alone. I mean, San Francisco 49ers, VW, all these kind of stories, right? Because people will listen to that because, oh, that's me. You know, and these guys are doing it. They get started. You know, it's not. You don't have to be at the end already because then people see like the gap.
When did y'all start?
6 months ago. I mean, in the summer.
That's your story.
Exactly.
In 6 months we went on, we bought these deals.
Yeah.
A group of guys with who's, like I said, like I like to say, whose parents didn't teach them real estate.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, who the only real estate we ever owned was the house that my mom and dad lived in. You know, daddy worked at a fast food chain. Mom worked for a plant that got closed down, and you know, she went to work for the school district. So what's your story?
Yeah.
You know, and you went to what? You found mentorship in real estate clubs. You found mentorship in other people. You know, to grow. Why? What's your why? Well, I got screwed around. Like, I don't know what y'all's why is. Like, why did you all leave your corporate jobs? Why are you doing, or not leaving? I know you're still working on, but why are you looking for something else? You know, and I know I reference grandpa, and it's like there's so much good knowledge there. Like, we're only taught one drip in school.
Totally.
You know, we're only taught one drip in school. We're not taught to have multiple drips. You know, Scott's got multiple projects. I need him to have multiple projects. I need him here because I don't want him worrying about money. I heard that Grant said that too. His money problems are my money problems. So I said to him the other day, hey, when you're at GrowthCon, any leads you get, man, I'll give you 25% of it. Go get it. And then I find out that Grant's assistant, right, makes $8,000 a month in her salary, but her rent went up $900. So that's 10%, right? But so he showed her how to sell his time, how to sell his products. Now she makes another $10,000 in commission a month. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Let's do water trees first. I think it'd be great because it was an original deal, so you're gonna see like we didn't do a lot of the things we did in other deals later. You'll see it in the improvements that we made.
What's that?
We're riding in the G-Wagon,
Okay.
or what's the?
And we can,
What's
I can
the,
fit.
what was the other place you guys wanted to go to?
I can fit.
Was that one?
Are you in the G-Wagon today?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 3 comfortably. You know,
Okay.
maybe 4 if you want to squeeze.
Getting out.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3.
I hope my zipper wasn't down in the damn video.
It's all right.
Good night. I don't care. There's a fucking zipper. Good night.
There's a little area out there. Yeah, right?
Efficiency.
This is full access here.
All right, so today I'm with our coaching students who flew in from Tennessee, and we're going to tour some of my older assets. And the purpose of touring the older assets is to show how you can do a renovation and just upkeep and it still looks clean. And this probably was bought in 2010. We put all Hardy on it and we put a paint job on it. I love Hardy because all you can do is you can repaint it anytime you want. They did a good job on the paint. You know, the paint still looks really good. You know, we did new roofs 2 years ago. Well, luckily we had a hailstorm in the area and we were able to cash out on the insurance premium on the insurance claim on that, so we got all new roofs at a fraction of what it would have been. We didn't do new air conditioners here. I didn't know then back then what I know now about residents and retention, but you know, this loan is due in 2 years. There's a good chance that we might refinance this, make these improvements, and then sell it again to somebody else. So normally on a property with 100 plus units like this, we're gonna have to minimize expenses on employees. We'll have one full-time outside and one full-time inside.
Outside meaning maintenance?
Maintenance, yeah. It's a struggle because you gotta have a good guy that knows what he's doing. You know, this should be a two-person team unless you got someone that's strong that can do everything. You know, Henry, I don't know, probably been there for 20 years. He was here when we took over from the previous company. So he's been with me since, 2010, you know. So what we can do, so again, we talk about curb appeal. You want everything on the outside to look appealing. If it looks appealing, they'll walk in. If it doesn't look appealing, they're not gonna come in. Why would they? If you can't take care of the outside, why would you take care of me in my apartment, right? So we're gonna go take a look around. So we wanted to show them there's a fitness center. Again, that wasn't here when we took over. We added that in there in 2010, 2011.
What was this space previously?
Office, just open area here.
This is for the community?
Yes, yeah, and you get through it through the other side. So if I was gonna buy this all over again, right, I'm buying it for myself. Obviously, I'm gonna update the signage. I'm gonna put a new design. I'm gonna do something to make it look a little cleaner. I would probably on a new deal. I would definitely do all the lights again, make it look clean. I would do LED lights. I would clean up the trees. This is wrong.
Property's 93% leased and 96% pre-leased.
A higher expense, I would think, right? Than
Yes.
I think it's a comfort thing.
Yeah,
It
it
likes
is.
to wake up and then,
No, I don't. I have wood floors on my house. I don't have single carpet and I don't like it.
yeah.
This is clean. Yeah. Ideally, just replace it. It's cheap enough. Just don't worry about it. At the moment, you want to show as much light in here. That's why the fire stops here.
it should have. I know which one you mean.
Okay, you see these?
Yeah.
You gotta have those. Those are a lifesaver. Because most fires happen in the kitchen. They happen from grease fires. So there's like a little tuna can. Now we talked about $40, but it saves everything. Also, make sure your renters carry renter's insurance, and you gotta verify that. You do your audits and inspections.
Do you allow them to get their own
They
rental
can,
insurance?
but if they can't prove it, then we put them on our policy. It's a little bit of a revenue generator, but I just want them to have insurance. Because they don't, it's typically their fault we have fires.
Yeah.
Or do you want to sell now and I'll raise new equity? Because I already see it. I mean, my acquisition mode, my due diligence is to kick it off. I can do so many things if I just had a new bucket of money. $500,000 here would go a long way.
Did you say you would sell it to yourself? Get a new
Yeah,
set of
recap it, right? Because you always Grant say never sell the real estate. You watch Timothy Fertitta, he says the worst thing I ever did was sell my real estate. Like, why would you ever sell it? You want to get out? Fine, get out. Let's sell it to a new group. That's what we should do. I would sell it to a new group before I refinance it, maybe.
Yeah.
We had this fencing. We added these amenity plan holders. We added this area here as well. This is just grass. There's a dog park right there. Yeah, see the dog park? The dog park is there. And then we had like a little basketball area. None of that was individual amenities that we created. You get a little greedy, you get a little, you want bigger. That's already done for somebody because someone else did it. If you do it, you get the benefit of it. But you also got to put the time in. You got to spend the money. You got to go through the issues of doing it. This property.
Any permits for like dog parks?
No, there's certain cities that will require you to do it. Like Alvin, they're very strict even about amenity flags. They won't let us have them. But for dog park, as long as it's inside, no, we don't even need to pull permits.
So I mean, do you hire like an architect or something to design like a dog park and the pergola area and this, or like
It was really done internal. We had Jose back in the day, which was our lead maintenance supervisor. It was done in house. Robert would come in and say, "What can we do there? I think we can do a dog park. Cool. Let's get some measurements. And what can we do here?" All of our residents, we don't allow grills, patios. that's the reason for it. Why are you causing potential, fires or anything like that when we have value add here? Just come drill here, and it's not a massive community. The community ends at that other building. There's this building that goes like this, and there's another one there. The fence ends there. This is the property that I told you that I was here, and then it got bought out by Robert, and I left. And then he asked me to come back. So this is a different force. He did lighting here. So even though it doesn't look like it, all those lights are actually LED lights. They're bright. It's not lit up at night. So when we drive past it at night, Ashley will tell you. On top of the yeah. Right, Ash? It's nice and bright when you drive by it.
Oh yeah, I pass by here every day.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The same thing with the front. We added that little pergola up there, and then we did this thing. I was actually still here when they were doing the stone in the front there, and it used to just look very plain in the back in the day. So it's changed quite a bit. We like it.
And that was all you guys saying, hey, we're going to do this.
So just kind of put the brains together, like what do our residents want? What does our competition have, and what don't they have? Like we can do better than that.
It's right. So next up, we pass like Bender Hollow and Meadowbrook, and then it's like there's quite a bit.
Since 2015. They did really well in the beginning, it's just kind of a new point. So when we saw the investors, we were really happy to sell it. I don't think they want to refi. I mean, like to get out of it. But all this was done. We did all this when we did the renovation. So the mail center was there, but we added all this stacked stone. We added all this extra stuff here. I think we added extra parking fees on the window. We did, right? A little airport noise, but you get used to it.
I used to live outside.
We added double pane windows here. We had a fire on a building in the back. Maybe I can get keys for that, and you can see what that unit looks like versus the model.
Let's see if we have an
Let's see what we have.
Man, I was here I was a property manager.
We've not been so perfect. The last 7 years, we've been ranked in the top 1%, and at that point, number 13 in Houston. That's a big fucking deal. You know, you gotta be excited about this. I know you weren't here, which is why you don't feel the passion, but we earned all those awards.
Yeah.
Actually, those are the old ones. Those are the Rockstar. I would have the other ones. So it's important. So okay, back to what I was saying here. This is an opportunity here to sell the property. You can see the amenities. Now, yeah, we got it. Spring's coming. We're going to get some colored umbrellas. You know, add some color there. Pressure wash some of this. You know, the gym's very nice. It is very nice here. You can't see it, but this is a business center. Stand right here to see it.
We do, yes. And then we have also
business stuff over there.
Those, yes. Actually, I was thinking about taking those to the office. I don't know if I should leave them in here.
Unless you want to talk about it. They're there to talk about it.
So we do have, once again, the ORA, which we did win.
It's called
Aura. Which we do have on display here as well, but I'll probably take them to the office.
Yeah.
And then as far as our lemon.
What does it mean?
So that means that we're in the 1% for online reviews. So for the past 6 years, we've been in the top 1%. Yeah. And then as far as appliances, they each have all that appliances.
There's no gas on property.
No gas on property. I saw the comparison. I feel like allocation, they're
Do
actually.
you know why there's no gas on property?
I really can't. Just electric.
Well, because the gas is for the boiler. But here we have individual water heaters.
They're electric.
So the residents pay their electric, which is good for us.
But I did notice, as opposed to the fixed utility switch, some are paying about $99 a month. Water and sewer, along with trash and pest, they're paying about maybe like $60.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Apartment Rockstar. It was a lot of fun hanging out with the Freedom Boys. I knew what they wanted. They wanted to go and touch the brake. They wanted to go and pick my brain, and they got all that. We saw multiple assets. We had a great lunch, and you should have seen their eyes. They're like little baby chickens. They just want more. And that's what they got. They got more. They got more than what they ever imagined, because they got a guy with 5,000 units, a 2-time National of the Year, telling them play by play how I got to this level. introducing them to my staff, showing them all my awards, how I earned the awards, and what they need to do next to take advantage of the market that we're in right now. Because I got started in '08 in a market just like this. So if you have the knowledge, you have the power, and you have the resources, you can become very wealthy and create a massive legacy for you, your family, and your investors. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If I can help you, man, we've got an accelerator program, Zoom calls, access to me all the time. Pick my brain, do exactly what the Freedom Boys have done, and let's see if I can make you look like a baby chick with your eyes open.